The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Jet superstar Sauce Gardner said something that should make every single Jet fan happy. We'll talk about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show, live on a Saturday. So let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jets fans. Welcome in, everybody. If you want Sauce Gardner to be a Jet for his entire career, stop what you're doing and hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Public service announcement. I'm hosting for 4 hours starting at 4 p.m. Eastern time today on Mad Dog Sports Radio, channel 82 on Sirius, or download the Sirius XM app and you can listen there. I wasn't going to do a show today, but then I saw a tweet from Green Bean, a good friend of the show, saying, "Where's the Jake Asman Show today? I'm out doing yard work. It's kind of BS that there's no show to throw on. What a scrub." So you asked for it, Green Bean. You challenged me. Well, guess what? I'm doing a Saturday show just for you. All right. 4 hours of national radio. Yeah, that's fine. All right. We'll squeeze in a Jake Asman Show just for you, GB. So shout out to Green Bean for the motivation as we talk about the state of the Jets. And we specifically talk about something that Sauce Gardner tweeted out just the other day. Jet fans, music to your ears with this one. Sauce took to Twitter and tweeted, quote, "I want to be a New York Jet for the rest of my career." Think about how far the New York Jets have come. Think about it. Players used to want to use the Jets for leverage, not sign with them. Players used to want to force trades and get away from the Jets the second they could, a la Jamal Adams. Sauce Gardner, who has been nothing but great since he's been a Jet, first ever defensive back to be first team All-Pro as a rookie. And he's done it 2 straight years. He's the best corner in the league. Hasn't been to the playoffs yet, has never made excuses, has never bashed the offense publicly. And he's telling you he wants to be a Jet for the rest of his career. Think about that. Think about the culture that the Jets have in that building, that a guy like Sauce is putting this out there. A good year and change before the Jets could even sign him to an extension after his 3rd year in the league. So when you see stuff like this, it does tell you, man, that they got the right people in the building. They just have to keep Aaron Rodgers healthy, and we got to see it play out this year. Because there's no doubt Sauce Gardner should be a Jet for the rest of his career. They should not make the mistake they made with Darrelle Revis with Sauce. Sauce is the closest thing we've seen to Revis in this league. And he should be a Jet for his entire career. And Sauce's contract is going to be a record-setting deal. He will be the highest paid cornerback in NFL history when he signs his deal. And I'd recommend the Jets sign him to that deal right after this upcoming season when they're allowed to. You look at the value for corners right now. Jair Alexander is the highest paid corner in the league. His contract was $84 million. The average salary per year was $21 million. Denzel Ward got $100 million, but his average per year was $20 million. Jalen Ramsey got $100 million. $20 million was his average per year. Marlon Humphrey's at 19.5. Trevon Diggs is at 19.4. Sauce is better than all these guys. Sauce Gardner will be the highest paid corner in the NFL. And really, if you think about it, Sauce Gardner will likely be a guy who not only just breaks the record here, which he will. You look at Denzel Ward's deal, it beat Jalen Ramsey by $100,000. It's 20.1. Ramsey signed for 20 on the dot. It beat Marlon Humphrey by $500K. Once again, Jair Alexander is the leader at 21 per. Sauce could probably get 25. We're talking about a record-setting deal for Sauce. Does he not deserve it? Right now, the Jets might try and negotiate, and you don't just give them a blank check. I get that, but it would behoove them next year to get it done with Sauce. You just saw the Lions pay Amon St. Brown at wide receiver. Garrett Wilson's getting paid next year too. The reason why you trade away a guy like JFM, the reason why you take a guy like Olu Fashanu, who plays a premium position, is because you are going to need to have cap space to pay these guys. And Olu is now cheap for the next 4 seasons after this one before ideally you have to pay him. But you got Jermaine coming up. ABT is going into year 4 already. They've already picked up his 5th-year option. You want to talk about extending him if he has a good year, because the 5th-year option counts directly against your cap. You can't finagle it. But it starts with Sauce, and it starts with Garrett Wilson. Now, you talk about 2 guys that should be Jets their entire career. It's Sauce and it's Garrett. They are the faces of the team outside of Aaron Rodgers. Garrett's gone over 1,000 yards the last 2 years with crap throwing to him. Sauce has been first-team All-Pro and really has been the best corner in the NFL since he started playing. I mean, we wasted no time. Game 1, you knew Sauce was special when he was shutting down Mark Andrews. And this year, the Jets are finally going to take advantage of the fact that they do have themselves the best corner in football. In an interview on the show The Barber Shop, or The Shop, that features LeBron James and a cast of characters in his entourage, Sauce Gardner revealed that he recently had a conversation with Jets defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich. Take a listen.
Going in every game, you want one receiver head up, or you would take some zone, so you like a little zone?
Sure, I mean, you got to think everybody get tired, but
Of course.
like I want to travel. I'm going to be traveling this year. So I got to stay tuned for that.
You're traveling everywhere.
Be traveling this year. I already had to I talked to my D coordinator about it.
You're in the AFC East. That's tough. You got Diggs, Tyreek.
You like that energy, too. You like that, I'm going to travel. That's your type of energy.
Travel.
I'm
a competitor, man.
That's that money, though. You travel, you get to go to the table with that, because everybody ain't doing that.
That's a good point.
It is.
Don't get it in his head, Chad Johnson. We'll put Revis on your ass again to shut you down back-to-back weeks. But yeah, I mean, Sauce is not money motivated, but athletes want to be paid. And yeah, obviously, if Sauce does travel this year and he remains the best corner in the league, which why would we expect anything else? He does make himself worth more. And that's why he is going to get paid a record-setting deal. It's not just going to be $23 million, because right now the guy who makes the most in the NFL is at 21. I think Sauce could probably ask for 24, 25 AAV, and he should get it. These are the guys you pay. You pay corners, you pay edge rushers on your defense. Those are the premium positions. And you really play, when you have a dominant defensive tackle like an Aaron Donald, you pay those guys. And that Jets have already paid Quinnen Williams, whose contract has aged like fine wine, when you see some of the deals that have been given around the league to guys who play the same position that Q does. But because they locked up Quincy Williams to a great deal before he broke out, there's no excuse for the Jets not to pay Sauce Gardner a year from now. But this is how he should be used. I want to focus in on the fact that he will shadow. He will travel against teams number ones this upcoming year. Great. What took so long? And I'll say this, give credit to Salah and Ulbrich. Learn from your mistakes from last year. Go back and evaluate what went wrong. There were multiple games last year where if you had Sauce Gardner traveling with the team's number one you're facing, you might have won. Dallas comes to mind when CeeDee Lamb torched them, and they refused to put Sauce on Lamb until it was too late. The game against the Dolphins in Miami, Tyreek Hill was out, and DJ Reed's a nice corner, really good corner. They should have had Sauce Gardner on Waddle the entire game. Waddle torched them in that first half. The game was over. Cleveland, Thursday Night Football. David Njoku killed the Jets in that opening quarter. Killed them. They waited till the second quarter to start putting Sauce Gardner on him. Can't have it. And Sauce revealed that night the plan was he was going to shadow Amari Cooper the entire game, but Cooper didn't even play. So then you should adjust and have him take Njoku out of the game. They didn't. These are the things the Jets coaching staff has to learn from. Has to. For this team to get where we want them to go. It's not just Rodgers being back. That helps. That's the biggest thing, but it's more than that. But I like that he's going to travel, right? That's how it should be. If you don't have Sauce Gardner traveling, you're wasting his talent. We saw what greatness looks like when Rex would have Revis travel. Revis Island became a thing. The next step for Sauce is to definitely travel. And that's where we're at right now. That's exciting. And if you look at some of the receivers the Jets are going to play this upcoming year, you had to have Sauce Gardner at his best against them. Miami still has Tyreek Hill. Houston now has Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins. Minnesota has Justin Jefferson. Go up and down the list. There's some really good receivers the Jets face on their schedule. Obviously, Buffalo doesn't have Diggs, but they still have an elite quarterback who makes guys better in Josh Allen. Sauce should potentially follow Dawson Knox if need be. Sauce should potentially shadow whoever their big-time pass catcher is. Maybe it's the Keon Coleman kid they drafted at the beginning of round 2. Maybe it's Curtis Samuel. He's a chess piece. Use him. So this is the right approach by the Jets. Sauce should be traveling. But you look at the upcoming Jets schedule next year, there's some really, really good receivers they play. And Sauce, at his best, should definitely take those guys out of the game. You know, you play the Niners next year. As of now, they still have Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. Take one of them out of the game. Indianapolis still has Michael Pittman. The Rams still have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Seattle still has Metcalf. Denver still has Cortland Sutton. Tennessee still has DeAndre Hopkins. Arizona just drafted maybe the best player in the draft in Marvin Harrison Jr. You play them. This is what we want to see Sauce Gardner do this year. And now he's going to get the opportunity to do it. I think if you're a Jet fan, you should be very, very excited. If you're a Jet fan, you should see down below. I have listed, courtesy of my friends at Fanatics, your legacy Sauce Gardner jersey. I am a Fanatics affiliate on this channel. So purchase your Jets gear using my links down below. Get yourself a legacy jersey. We're talking Sauce today. So the Sauce jersey's pinned. Get it in any color. If you don't like what you see down below, but you want something else from Fanatics, just click on something you see down below. And even if you buy something that I didn't list, this channel still gets credit. So shout out to Fanatics for being a part of our show. Comments, questions, super chats will cut the line. For those tuning in late, this show was not going to happen. Everyone tweet Green Bean right now. Thank you for your service. Because Green Bean demanded a Saturday show. And I said, you know what, GB? I got you. I'm hosting 4 hours of national radio in less than an hour on Mad Dog Sports Radio. So this will not be your typical hour and a half Jake Asman show. But I was challenged to do a program, and you best believe we're doing a show. All right, comments, questions, super chats. Always cut the line. Jets West checks in. Sauce is on track to being on the Mount Rushmore of NFL cornerbacks. He is. He is. I mean, he's off to a Hall of Fame caliber start to his career. No one's made the All-Pro team, first team All-Pro, 2 straight years to start their career at that position. He's the closest thing we have Jet fans have seen since Darrelle Revis. See, we as Jet fans know what shit quarterback looks like. Excuse my language. That's the only way I could describe my lifetime as a Jet fan. But we know what elite corner play looks like. All right, I watched every snap of Darrelle Revis' career with the Jets. I was in Canton last summer because I felt like it was important for me to be there. We know what that looks like. We know what Revis Island looks like. Sauce is ready. And now it's time. Dark Knight Steve says, thank you, Green Bean. Yeah, baby. Thank you, Green Bean. I did want to update some people. So yesterday we had a shocking tell-all with Knoble, who joined the show, and obviously it's a little bittersweet to talk about. I think he might have died on the air. So for those who saw the interview, you know what I'm referring to. I did receive an alternate angle of the accident that involved Knoble. This was on the local news last night.
Incredible video. That driver was speeding through this neighborhood and wound up launching his car into a home in Harupa Valley late yesterday afternoon. The passenger, a woman in her 20s, escaped the crash with minor to moderate injuries, but the driver, a highly sought-after prospect in the NFL, was found dead at the scene.
Wow, incredible stuff there.
It's very sad, obviously. So R.I.P. Knoble, but at least, you know, his girlfriend seemingly, or not even his girlfriend, I mean, the woman he held captive seemingly is okay, which explains why he went undrafted. We knew there were some character concerns. We didn't know that he was, you know, a kidnapper. Very tough to handle. Obviously, thoughts are with everyone involved at this time. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Michael starts us off today on the Gusbuster Hotline. What's up, Michael?
Oh, my God. That was some crash. Poor
So
Knoble. It is so sad. Anyway, I want to say hallelujah. Hallelujah to Green Bean. Thank you, Green Bean. Love you. Also, I want to say, isn't it refreshing? Beautiful to have guys that say they want to be a lifelong Jet. I mean, Jake, I've never seen a team with so many players, and we got to pay these guys. We got to pay them, because if they want to be here, we got to pay these guys, because this team is incredible. We don't want to start losing them when the time comes, you know? And that's what I wanted to say. And rest in peace, Knoble. I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, you know, what can you say? Poor guy. Hey, thanks, Jake.
Michael, appreciate you. Look, these are the guys you want to pay, but this is why you got to take advantage of this window right now, because Sauce is on his rookie deal. Garrett's on his rookie deal. Brees, AVT, Jermaine, the list goes on and on. These guys are making below market value for their talent. That's why you got to take advantage. Dano Jet fan with a super chat. Dane wishes Green Bean the best, laboring in the yard. Yeah, Green Bean is doing some yard work. He wanted a Saturday show. People, we gave him a Saturday show. More calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Dark Knight Steve is on the hotline. What's up, Steve?
So I just I got some intel on Knoble. Knoble's actually alive.
Really?
This is actually ultra classified, but I'm going to put it on YouTube anyway. So at 0332 Zulu this morning, Knoble was actually apprehended off the coast of the United States. Not sure where. From what we're understanding, after biometrics came back, Knoble was actually a cyber terrorist. And we had information that he was headed out to Long Island, and on the way was going to stop at the commissioner's house to have a discussion as to why he wasn't selected in the draft. Apparently, early interviews out of Guantanamo Bay are telling us that he was advised by some guy named L. Turner, possibly Lane Turner, that this is what we're getting. I don't know, can't confirm, but apparently he was representing the Jets and was supposed to be the 33rd pick in the first round by the Jets, and when it didn't happen, he lost it. So that's what we're getting out of Guantanamo at the moment. Again, biometrics are saying it is Knoble. Apparently that's an alias. He does have some Somali pirate connections, but apparently has used the alias Gator McCluskey. So I don't know. We're still trying to figure it out. As I get more on Knoble, from what I'm understanding, the staged crash and death, he's actually potentially alive. Again, not 100% sure. It appears to be him, but we're getting reports out of Guantanamo. Knoble's alive. He's a cyber terrorist and was apparently headed to Long Island, going to stop at Commissioner's House to figure out what happened with his draft. He's very upset about not being drafted. So that's all I got. For a Saturday show, I had to give it. I had to bring it for you.
Dark Knight Steve, checking in, providing an update, unconfirmed. Everyone's got their theories. A lot of speculation. I'm not going to comment until we have more. More calls right now. B-Mac is up next. B-Mac, what do you got for us?
Hey, Jake. I'm sitting here chilling, eating my slice of pizza. You know what I mean?
Show the pizza again. What is on that?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Really?
Yeah.
You're a mushroom guy?
Oh, yeah. I like mushroom pizza. I like I like all kind of pizza. You know what I mean? So yeah, except the anchovies. I can't deal with fish on them. But yeah. I want to good Saturday to you. Congratulations on your Knicks. I forgot to bring that up to you. I hope they can go far this year and win a championship. Because my mom is a diehard Knicks fan. Too,
how about that?
Yeah. I just got some points to make for you. Sauce Gardner, in my opinion, I think that's the best corner Rodgers has ever played with since Charles Woodson. You know what I mean? I think you can make an argument for that. From me being a Packer fan and watching Charles Woodson dominate with us, and so I think because when Charles Woodson was with us, I think one year he had with us, he was Defensive Player of the Year in 2009.
He stole it from Revis, who had the greatest single cornerback season of all time, though. So I'm very bitter about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, me and you can agree to disagree on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's my opinion. And then the one thing I do want to ask you about, it's just so annoying. Like, why do Kevin Wiles and Joy Taylor keep bringing up Rodgers hasn't had a 300-yard game like his last year in Green Bay? Like, what point are they trying to make with that?
They hate the Jets.
Like, are they saying that to troll? Or are they just saying that, like, because, when do 300 yards become, like, people don't, like, you seen people go for 300 yards and lose. You seen people go for 150 yards and win. Like, at the end of the day, it's about W's, wins and losses. It's not about going for, like, why do they do that? And what point they're trying to make?
Well, because it's a debate show and they're trying to fit the narrative that Aaron Rodgers is not that good. Meanwhile, I would rather have a blindfolded Aaron Rodgers playing with one arm over Tua, who I think is maybe the most overrated quarterback in the league. He can't play in cold weather. They can't beat winning teams. Tua didn't have a single 300-yard game in November, December, or January. He's never won a game when the temperatures are below 45 degrees. So, I can nitpick and give you stats, too, if I want to. They could say whatever they want. The bottom line is Aaron Rodgers is at his best when people doubt him. He already had a chip on his shoulder going into last year, and now that chip is as large as it could possibly be after what happened 4 plays in and what people upset about him all this year. So it's time. Lane Train, who knows Knoble as well as anyone. In fact, the two of them are obviously very close. Lane was the first person to tell us all about Knoble. He says Knoble is not died. Knoble might be alive, folks. If Lane says it's true, it might be true. But Lane also wrote RIP. So we're getting conflicting reports on this from Lane Train himself.
Choo-choo! Mother effing choo!
Wrong Verb says, Jay, can we get Janae Coakley to join the show someday? Yes. Well, Janae was on with us for 30 minutes during the Combine. So go back and watch that interview. She told some incredible stories about her, 15 years on the Jets beat now. So check that out. Wrong Verb. But yeah, we'll definitely get Janae back on the show. Huge fan of hers. She's great. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Hey, I'm 20 members away from reaching a new threshold of channel members as maniacs. So if someone could hit the join button, you'll get us closer. I got some new emojis I want to add. So hit that join button. It goes a long way towards supporting the show. Plus you pay it forward. If someone gifted you a membership, potentially pay that forward to someone watching. I'm watching the Yankee game right now, and Aaron Judge, who never shows this much emotion with home plate umpires, was just seen yelling at one. I must have missed what happened here. Judge has got I think he got ejected. That is Aaron Judge's first ever ejection. He has never been ejected from a game before, ever. So you know that this umpire probably screwed up. Yeah, Rizzo screaming at him. Judge is like the most like mild-mannered guy when it comes to the umps. So, wow. I have to figure out what happened here. Let me see the replay real quick. Oh, yeah. Pitch was clearly outside. Let's see this. Yeah, and Judge is just pissed. Yep, that was terrible. All right, anyway. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Mr. Bonesy's in the shoe store. Hello, Bones. Do 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 da 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 da. Bonesy, there you are.
Ah, there you go. I'm so crazy. I'm such a Jake, crazy man. I'm listening on my tablet, right? Like while I'm helping people, and I just have it live so I could wait in here, for my turn in line.
But you're here, baby. I know you want to fight with Gary, but Gary's no longer to be found right now.
Yeah, Gary's ducking. My big thing with him, I'm gonna save it. I actually want to save it. I want to talk to him because I have a couple of stumping questions that I need to ask him. So I'll save our beef for a different show. But
all right, I have the box ready for another Jake Asman roundtable here.
I can't wait, man. So don't you love hearing about like what Sauce said? That shit just gets me excited, man. It's just back to Joey Three Legs, just always making, good picks. Like he picks all pro level players, man. And he also, what my favorite part about this regime has been that we actually worry about what they're all about. Like we're not just drafting for talent. Like you have to also be a level-headed player. When you do make a mistake and you're not, fully committed, like and you're willing to bark during a 3-game win streak like Elijah Moore, like we're gonna trade you, Jamal Adams was honestly a god among men for a season. Thank you, Greg Williams. I still appreciate you for that. And but then he started barking, and what did we do? Immediately, we got rid of him. So I love that sentiment and that you need that. You need that. The way people talk in interviews is important. The way you can handle media is important, especially when you're in a market like this. So I love these all-pro players that we draft, and they still like Garrett. How could you not love Garrett? You know how mad Garrett was during some of those interviews, getting pressed by people, and he has to keep that level head. Like all he wanted to say was like, "Man, freaking a wide receiver could get me the ball better than this shit. Like I just give me the damn ball." Like he was so good in those interviews.
He's great, and like the will to win that these guys have, man. Like it's just like your best players also got to be your best leaders and your hardest workers, and that's what the Jets have with their guys, which is incredible.
Hell yeah! And then just like Mosley, we paid Mosley a lot of money to come here. He's been saying it from the beginning that he wanted to be part of the change. He wanted to experience the change and feel like he can bring us to, closer to a championship. And he stuck through the bad years. And look, he takes a little reconstruction and he's all in. He's back. And I love like this. Like I just feel like we just got players who want to be here. It feels different. It has felt different. If it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers getting hurt, everything still would have been different. I wonder what people would have been saying about Joe Douglas if the plan got executed a little bit last year. Like, all the hate that he gets, it's like this roster speaks for itself, man. It's just man, where are you, Gary? I'm ready, baby. I'm ready to go.
You really want Gary? You need him? You want him?
I do.
I'll give you Gary.
Joe Douglas should have been fired 2 days before he was hired.
We'll give you some Gary. Gary truly has become the number one villain on the show. It goes in cycles, though. Allen will be back up there. JJ will have his run. We know how this goes. Today's Jake Asman Show is presented by my friends at Copper John's Beard Company. Folks, yesterday I applied some fantastic Copper John's Fine Beard Oil to my beard after I shaved. I do it all the time. I use it daily. Makes my beard look nice, smell nice. most importantly, makes my beard not itch. I never knew anything about beard products before I started using Copper Johns, and my beard would get long, it would get itchy. I was in Houston where it was hot and humid, it would be uncomfortable, and Copper Johns has allowed me to not have to deal with that anymore. So if you're someone who's never used beard products, consider Copper Johns. They are a family-owned business, a Jet fan family-owned business. Tyson Allrad, their founder, diehard fan of the Jets, watches this show each and every day. He's now been an advertiser with me for almost a year already. So shout out to Tyson for the incredible support. Go to copperjohnsbeard.com. Use promo code Jake20. You get 20% off any of their products, especially the beard products, the oils for your beard, the beard balm as well. I recommend for those of you who have like really long and luscious beards. The beard balm is great for that. Aftershave, cologne, soaps. I mean, they have everything, but the beard products is where it's at, man. The logo's fire. It smells nice. You're going to love it. Shout out to all the Asmaniacs who have purchased Copper Johns. Jake 20% off, copperjohnsbeard.com. Copperjohnsbeard.com. All the info on the screen. All the info also in the description for this video. More calls right now, folks. A lot of people have been asking where this guy has been. People have said, man, is he ever going to call back in? Is he just going to be on the campaign trail the entire next couple of months? And I said, no, V-Man will find time for us. So V-Man is on hold. But first, another political update from V-Man himself.
We now go live to our political expert, Vincent.
You want to be a real political party, target areas where you can win. Until then, you're going to be the political clown show that every American and everyone on the left is going to laugh at. So that's all.
Helping us change the world. Thank you, V-Man.
Thank you, V-Man, for that. And we obviously want to thank V-Man for gracing us with his presence.
It's time for another V-Man call. Hopefully he's not sleeping. Dios mío.
And welcome back to the show. How's the trail?
I'm surprised that you actually found that. Unfortunately, Twitter glitched the first time through and it didn't upload the full video. But it's just me dunking. I had a friend on Twitter who was dumb enough to think the Green Party is a legitimate political organization.
Thank you.
So
V-Man.
I had to explain that. I mean, off topic. In all your time living in Long Island, did you ever see any one of those guys knock on your door?
No, I don't think so.
Exactly. It's like how you to take yourself seriously when you're not doing groundwork. Like everyone else does it, but except for you. But let's get away from politics because that's that.
V-Man for president, 2024. I'm writing you in on my ballot, V-Man. You're my write-in candidate. All right.
All right. So I'm just glad to hear, from a Jets player that they're positive, that they're happy being here, that they want to be here. And also just glad to hear that they're going to let Sauce travel. It's like the fact of the matter was to have a cornerback that talented and to limit where he can play just was an asinine idea from the beginning. It was a poor decision. And as you mentioned earlier in this video, it cost us in numerous games where, like, literally they just put their best receiver on the other side of the field, and he would cook, and we'd get torched and we would get our ass kicked because of it. So allowing your best corner to travel, you're gonna keep him in line with their best weapon. It's going to make our defense a whole lot better.
I agree. It's time to not having Sauce Gardner travel is like owning the Mona Lisa and displaying it in your garage. Doesn't make sense. You're not maximizing his talent if you don't let him at least try. Maybe he gets exhausted. He can't do it the entire game. But critical passing downs, Sauce Gardner should be covering the team's number one weapon, the opponent's number one weapon. That's how you utilize his strengths.
Yeah, or like it's owning a Camaro and stick shift, but never moving it past second gear.
Yeah, that's another one. Give us another analogy, V-Man. You're good with them.
Nah, that's the one I can think of off the top of my head.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, V-Man, I want to thank you for the time and thank you for joining us from the campaign trail.
That's the end of that V-Man call. Now he can go back to sleeping.
Now we can go back to campaigning, people. Vincent is very busy, folks. Very, very busy. But he's always making time for us, folks. Even with a rising political career.
We now go live to our political expert, Vincent.
You're a political clown show. That's what you are. Have you ever seen a Green Party activist knock on your door? I haven't.
Helping us change the world. Thank you, V-Man.
That he is, folks. That he is. Speaking of people that are changing the world, there's no one that's changing the world, that's changing our show quite like this guy.
Well, you know, I love the Yankees and the Jets, and to read the super chats are more than just a hat. Bobby. Hi, Jake.
Bobby Midnight. What's up, Bobby?
How long do you live from work? You got to get there on time?
I do my show right from my apartment.
No way. You could do that?
Yeah, I've been doing shows remote since I started.
Oh, I thought you had to go to the studio over there.
No, I could, but it's a Saturday and my producers are working remote, so I could just do it from my apartment.
Oh, good. I could call in today, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm doing a lot of basketball talk, Bobby, some NFL stuff. So yeah, definitely could give the show a call and we'll get you on there.
You're going to be all by yourself, right?
Yep, solo for 4 hours. So I'll take all the calls I can get.
Yeah, so we keep you company. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, V-Man always has a nice smile, doesn't he?
V-Man, he's one of a kind, Bobby, just like you.
We tried. Yeah. Let's see what happened. Something happened. Oh, guess who I get to talk today at 6 o'clock to?
Who?
Craig Carton.
You're calling up Craig?
No, he's going to be on the Jets Afterburner show today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he promised me. Remember the guy who thought you were mad at him?
Yeah.
He's going to do the interview with him today, and I get to talk to Craig.
I
haven't talked to Craig in a long time.
Tell him I say hello. We used to work together.
Yeah, he used to have his own show. Do you remember that show he went to on a different channel? Then he gave Morency on it after he left.
Yep.
What was that? What channel was that? I forgot.
It's now Sports Grid, but it was called something else when he was there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So yeah, that's when he started with the Vermont syrup all over my body. He went down to the studio.
Well, tell him I say hello, all right?
Yes, definitely. Isn't he a great guy?
Yes. Hey, Craig has always been very good to me.
Yep. And then the Jets are lucky they better sign Sauce for a whole long time.
Yeah, well, they can next year. Next year, him and Garrett are up for extensions. I think the Jets would be wise to extend both.
Of them, yeah, they got to sign both of them. And
No
then,
question. Good pitch.
Stir in the pot with the sauce like Mike the Situation does all the time. Yeah, we stirs the pot.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's my New Jersey shirt.
Bobby, thank you for the time. Let's all sing along together, baby.
Well, you know, I love the Yankees and the Jets, and to read the super chats are more than just a hat. Bobby.
Gonna wrap up here in just a bit. National radio show, Mad Dog Sports Radio, 4 to 8 Eastern tonight, folks. Tune in, give me a call. Looking forward to it. Arizona Jet says, hope for your team to be bad so you can be right. Hashtag fake fan. I don't know who this is referencing. Maybe this is Gary or Alan you're referring to, Arizona Jet, but you are a fake fan if you're hoping your team is bad so you're right. Like Sal's the worst coach. We're never going to win with him. And then it's like you're happy when you're proven to be right if that happens. Like you're not a real Jet fan. Jet it out with a super chat. I actually grabbed my Sauce Elite Vapor jersey last night. Pretty expensive, but I don't care. So ready for the season. Keep up the good work, Jake. Jet it out. I respect it, man. I respect it. I hope you use my Fanatics link. K&D writes in, happy Saturday, my G Jake and the chat. Sup, Bobby. Not only is today Saturday, as Sith Happens writes in, happy Star Wars Day, everybody. May the 4th be with you. Sith Happens adds, strike Kenobi down and he will become more powerful than you could imagine. Great reference. Best Star Wars movie, go. For me, it's Empire Strikes Back. I will always love the Revenge of the Sith as a child of the 2000s. The latest trilogy, just brutal. Rogue One may be the best like standalone Star Wars film they made. I'm a big fan of that. And I'll say The Mandalorian right up there with anything Star Wars has produced. I enjoyed the Obi-Wan series. I felt like there was too much, though, filler episodes and like a 6-episode miniseries. So it was good. It was nostalgia seeing, Ewan play the character again. But I felt like it could have been better. But it did give us some good moments. All right, a couple more calls before we wrap here. Let's go to our guy, the Heisman of Hennessy. Hennessy Heisman's up next. What's up, Henny?
Yo, what's up, Jake? How you doing?
What's up, man? I got to get you some Copper Johns for that beard.
Yo, you know what's funny? I got a couple products that I've been using for, the past couple years. It's starting to run low, so I definitely got to try some Copper John for sure.
I love it.
I need that. Listen, before I get into my Jets talk, let's go Knicks. I know
Yes,
I can't talk too much Knicks because, it's the Jets channel.
Yeah,
But,
even though everyone on here is most likely a Knick fan if they're watching this show,
Yeah, Jalen Brun's him. But yeah, that speaking of Brun's him, I put up a montage video on my Instagram of 2 years ago when we signed him, and everybody saying it was a bad signing. And now they just all on his beef. Is crazy. I love it.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen is the same people that's talking down on Rodgers are going to do the same thing. And they're going to, when he has a good year, they're all going to hop on his beef. It's crazy.
Now they'll move the goalpost, though. They'll be like, "Oh, he's supposed to have a good year. Let's see it in the playoffs." Oh, it's like you just get ready, man. No one will ever give the Jets credit.
What's crazy is man, listen, sometimes I can't even turn on your station, Jake. I put on 98.7 and your coworkers are bashing him. What's up with that?
I know. Hey, look, they don't speak for me, man. I'm not afraid to criticize people who have bad takes. I work with Chris Canty. I have destroyed him for calling Rodgers a cancer. So, you listen to who you listen to. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that's said about Rodgers, even on the station that, employs me. It's a sports opinion at the end of the day, but, I just think you got to call it how it is. And I disagree with a lot of what's said.
Facts, me too. So there's two people that represent us very well on the station. That's Dan Grassa, of course, and Bart Scott. I love Bart Scott.
Yeah.
And I love Han too. That's one of my favorite shows. Because I work 3 to 11, so I listen to the show on the way to work. So it's perfect for me. And it's crazy because Bart sounds just like you on here. He represents us so well. Yesterday, Chris Canty was on the show. He's talking about, I think the Jets would be second or third. And Bart's like, so who's gonna be first? Miami? He's like, no, Buffalo. He's like, what? We won 7 games without Aaron Rodgers, with Zach Wilson. And that's exactly what you've been saying for the past, I don't know how many months. And Chris Canty he just makes himself sound so dumb.
This guy is a cancer that's metastasized throughout the entire building in Florham Park. And I don't know why Jets fans can't see it.
Exactly. What's funny is he agrees that the defense is elite. He said it himself. He said, you guys do have a great defense. And Bart is like, yeah, and we had the worst offense because we had Zach Wilson. When you plug in Rodgers and a healthy O-line, what do you think? We're going to win 8 games? And the guy just didn't know what to say.
Of course not, because he's dead wrong. And he also had the asinine take the week of the draft. Oh, they should take a quarterback at 10 because they don't have a backup plan after Rodgers. He's like, well, they brought in Tyrod Taylor, but he's injury prone too. So your plan for them to get better, Chris, in an all-in year is for them to take a 3rd string quarterback because that's what the number 10 pick in that scenario would have been. And by the way, it would have been what? The 5th quarterback off the board at that point. So take the 5th best quarterback off the board at 10, have him be a 3rd string quarterback. Canty is dead wrong. He hates the Jets. And at the end of the day, him and all these Jet haters, they're in for a rude awakening when this team is actually as good as we think they're about to be.
Right. I'm just glad that, listen, we did the Hard Knocks last year. It's over with. I want them to keep on talking crap about us, keep bashing us. I tell you who's taking receipts. Aaron Rodgers is taking receipts this year. Yep. And it's crazy. He showed up to that first day of minicamp or voluntary workouts. He's focused. He's been hearing everything they're saying, and I know he can't wait to prove people wrong. He can't wait. And, man, listen, I just know we're going to do the right thing. And, listen, at the end of the day, Rodgers is ready. I like the way the team is moving. I love the way Joe Douglas and Saleh is now in the media, not giving them nothing. Because they've been talking too much the past couple years. And ever since the leak got out last year and the injuries happened last year, and they want to bash us, they flipped the script on everybody and said, you know what? Now we're not even going to talk to you. We're going to keep the talk to a minimum. And I love that. Let's show them the play on the field. And listen, like I said, I want Miami week 1. I just do. I just hate Miami that much. I don't know if I hate Miami, but I just hate the fans. And I just want to kill them. I want another 40-17 game. Let's go. Week 1. And you know I'm going to be in the building, so you already know.
Hey, sign me up for that. And since you're on, Henny, and I'm about to do 4 hours of radio here, cheers, my man.
Oh, man. I just came out the gym, but cheers, bro.
Happy Saturday, my man. We'll talk to you soon.
I'm happy. I'm happy you keeping the tradition alive 2 years later, man. Let's go.
Hey, it all started with you, man. All started with you.
That's right. All right, fellas. Later.
I love it. Hennessy Heisman, check it in. Appreciate that. Hit the like button. Use the Asmaniac Henny emoji if you're tuned in live. It goes a long way in supporting the show. Appreciate everyone out there who's tuned in today. Today's show presented by Huga House. Folks, Huga House has a deal running. They restocked a bunch of their hats. If you want the hat that Aaron Rodgers is always wearing, you better head to the website, hugahouse.com, and use promo code ASMAN. They will sell out. They are nearing the finish line, I was told by a representative there this morning. Promo code ASMAN at checkout. You get the first hat 15% off. You buy a second hat, you get that 30% off. hugahouse.com. This hat and all the hats you see Aaron wearing, you see Shane Gillis wearing, you see a bunch of other Jet players wearing, the hats I wear, it's all there. Promo code ASMAN, 15% off. I got time for maybe 2 more calls if we make it quick. Let's go to Peter, who's up next. What's up, Peter?
Hey, Jake. I have 2 main points. The first point is I was looking more into this running back pick, the second running back. I'm along with your point, and I didn't want the second running back. Personally, I would have wanted a guard or a center to back up our current offensive line and Aaron Rodgers. But, I was looking into it, and more than I think about, I just want to calm Jets fans down. We have a lot of great receivers as it is. We got a great surprise last year with the whole Xavier Gibson thing. I do think that, look, we didn't see Allen Lazard with Aaron Rodgers last year. Yeah, he was trash last year. Allen Lazard was trash. We all know he was trash. But I think that with Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball, we can increase his production. And, at the same time, we can only have a certain amount of, receivers and running backs each on the roster, So to have it split evenly, it might be a better idea in the long run. And, I'm sort of really liking this pick more than I think about it. The second point that I'm going to make is that maybe we should bring back Connor McGovern, because I saw the spring training or the workout camp list, and I didn't see him on there. I did like that they brought back some of our previous offensive linemen from last year that were actually decent. What's your thoughts on bringing back Connor McGovern just to back up, not really be starting? JETS, Jets at Jets.
Peter, appreciate it. Yeah, I've been on the record for a while. I think they should bring back McGovern. AVT's coming off 2 season-ending injuries in October. John Simpson is, as of now, he's only put together 1 really good year. I'd like some more depth there. And, at the end of the day, when you talk about what could derail the Jets season, to me, it's not a lack of weapons. It's a bunch of injuries to the O-line again. McGovern is a solid pro. He's not great, but he's a guy who'll play for the veteran minimum as he did last year. I would take him in a second. Also, want to give some love here before we wrap up. We have gained over 400 Patreon subscribers. Thank you to everyone. Harvey Bouchard says, I'm now a member of Patreon and Discord. Yes, you are, Harvey. Shout out to you for signing up. I truly appreciate it, my man. Goes a long way. RR signed up for the entire year. Him and his wife watched the show together. They're now part of the Discord. Andrew McAllister and Justin Lins are 4 most recent Patreon members. That brings our total to over 400, which is a landmark number for me. Thank you. If you want your name in the intro, if you want the show in podcast form, if you want, most importantly, Discord access, priority response, listener invites, listener events before the general public, bonus content, and everything I offer, and just a way to support me as I do this full time for the foreseeable future, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. I have time for 1 more call. I'm on the radio for 4 hours and 20 minutes. Devin, wrap us up. What's up, Devin?
What's going on, Jake? Hey, man, I appreciate you. Listen, I just wanted to make a couple of quick points. I'm going to go back. I'm going to make my point first, and then I want to say some other things. I'll be quick. So I was listening to Buffalo Jet fan, and he was talking about in Rodgers' MVP season, right? He was saying that obviously we know who the number one was, 17, but then his number two was MVS, and Lazard. So I'm like, dude, like when we do this 20-0, this is what I'm expecting, Jay. I don't really. He's going to give us enough points, and the defense is going to shut him down enough. I'm going 20-0. That's where I'm at with this. Like, who's going to beat us? Nobody.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, look, 20-0, great. How about 12-5 AFC East champions, and let's go on a playoff run. That should be the goal.
I got big dreams, bro. I got big dreams. I want to shove this shit down so many people's throat, Jake, that it's not even funny. It's not even funny, bro. Like oh my gosh. But I just want to say, I've been, I was checking out everything on the draft. You did a fabulous job despite being ill. I wanted to give you your props on that, man. Like all of the great interviews, man. I really appreciate you. Shout out to Green Bean for having the stream on today. I was in the yard myself doing some work, but I'm done, yo. Appreciate you so much, bro. And I just want to say, I stay in the background because I like to see other people and have their perspective as well. I love Bobby. Bobby, I love you. I love your Gator, man. I love I could go crazy right now, but I'm not. I got to do a call-in, though, one day for my boy who was in Hampton. He's got his pizza shop. And you got to see, I put on a Patreon who was on the cover. Aaron's on the cover of on the door. But
I love it.
Oh, my gosh, bro. We are making so much plans for this year. I can't wait. I cannot wait, Jake. But I appreciate you, bro. I know you got to run 4 hours grinding as always, man. You the dude, bro.
Devin, great call, man. Appreciate you. I love it. Living that dad life, the yard work, and calling in. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the kind words about the draft megacast as well. This is great from Lane Kerner before we wrap. Can the Jets draft Jordan Travis? Well, Lane, I got something that might excite you. What if I were to tell you that the Jets already drafted Jordan Travis? All right. In fact, Jordan Travis was out there on the practice field today at rookie minicamp, Lane. Boom. Absolutely love it. Hit the like button on your way out of here. Thank you to everyone for their support. If you want more of me, Sirius XM, Channel 82, 4 hours, Mad Dog Sports Radio. You can listen on the Mad Dog app, or excuse me, the Sirius XM app. Just search Mad Dog Sports Radio there. Call in Knicks fans, call in NFL fans. I'll take all your guys' calls. And if I see you're an Asmaniac, I'll move you to the front of the line on that show. But I got to run because the grind doesn't stop, baby. The work never stops. The climate just changes. I end this show by saying thanks to everyone for their support. And once again, JETS, 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 Jets.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is none other than Chiefs fan. Hello, Chiefs fan.
Yo, last night I was outside talking and I walked over and checked on my neighbor and I found out my neighbor passed away in his lawn chair. So
this call was not going where I thought it was going. Chiefs
well,
fan.
the old man had bladder problems. Let's just say that. He was 90s. He didn't take his medication, and he was going to smoke a cigar with me, but he wasn't there.
Is it a real story?
This is a real story.
And he passed away on his lawn chair in the middle of the Super Bowl.
Walked inside of his house, checked on his dog, poured a shot of vodka, and I'm like, this isn't going to be enough. Chugged about 1/4 of the vodka that we usually drink. I'm like, the old man had to die during the big game. But yeah, I was happy we won.
Yeah. Hey, Chiefs fan, congrats on the Super Bowl win, man. I don't know what to say. I figured this was going to be a celebratory call for the great Chiefs fan, and it was not that.
The Jets are going to come back. No, they're not. They're never going to come